Welcome back to another episode of the Jasmine Star Show. My name is Christina, Jasmine's executive assistant, and I'm so excited to share today's episode with you. Our team is all about working smarter, not harder. So if you're down to do the same, keep listening to learn about a new type of content you can create that doesn't require more work: Instagram guides. In this Ask Me Anything session on Facebook Live, Jasmine shares how to leverage them and serve your audience well as answer some questions about repurposing them to other platforms, creating content while looking at the big picture, and more. Let's dive in.
How's it going? I am so happy to pop in. I love these live conversations. I get to have conversations about life, business, and everything on the in-between. And I also get to pop in and share with no strings attached things that are working in my business, and specifically things that are working in my business that are affordable, light lifting, and kind of effective, and effective at helping me reach my dream customer. So if you are looking for something that is light lifting, that doesn't require more work, that empowers you to talk to your dream customer, and it doesn't cost you money, drop a yes in the chat. Now, here's the thing. Every week I go live and I want to make sure that I'm only doing something that provides value. If you don't find these topics valuable, well, we want to hear from you. I only want to create stuff that you really dig. So let's dig into this presentation and have ourselves about a 5-minute chat to lay the foundation and framework for what we can then go and do for our business. So we'll pop in and get this party started. So the question I have for you starting out is, do you wish there was a better way for your content to get discovered by your dream customer? If the answer is yes, there is a feature, and we're going to be focusing now every week. We try to focus on different topics. This week, we're going to be focusing on a feature on Instagram that is really, really powerful. And I don't know if you're capitalizing on it the way that you can be. So business owners, just like you, this is what I teach on the Inside of Social Curator, things that I'm doing that are working really well when it comes to social marketing, is we're using it to serve our audience and to grow our business in a way that we haven't done it before. So big reveal, Instagram guides. Now, before you're like, Jasmine, this is not new news. I know, but I'm just blown away how few people are using Instagram guides to drum up more business, because guides are a perfect way to consolidate around specific pieces of content. And then these specific pieces of content, stuff that you've already created, is going to act as a resource for people who are new to your profile. And I'm going to give you a few examples of things that I'm using, and then I'm going to talk to you about how effective they are. So guides are amazing because they're searchable on Instagram. They're shareable on Instagram, and they're really easy to use, both for you as the creator and then for people who are actually checking out your content. So there are 3 types of Instagram guides. We're going to break them down quickly. You have place guides. Now, this is where you recommend places in your city and in your neck of the woods. And think of it as like your own endorsement around places that is around your business. Now, I think place guides are fantastic for physical locations. If I owned a boutique, I sure as all get out would want to have a place guide for coffee shops that are around my boutique. If I were a hair salon, if I was a stylist, I want a place guide to where, like, if you have a long appointment over lunch, here are the restaurants within walking distance of the salon before you grab your food to come in while you get your hair done. You're just thinking about creating resources that empower your customers or clients to have a better experience with your business. Then you have product guides. Now, product guides, this is definitely more powerful for product-based businesses, but you can always find a way to have products that highlight what your business does. So let's just say that you are a life coach and you don't sell products, but you have found that like this particular planning journal and this particular software has really empowered your clients to do X. Well, you can have a product guide that's highlighting these other products where you can recommend your favorite products. Now, what we're going to dive right into, which is my personal favorite, and these are post guides. Now, these are guides that are going to recommend posts that you have created or that you have saved from other people. Yes, you can be getting other people's posts and putting it into your guide. So you act almost like an editor to a magazine or a guide that you're creating on your Instagram account. So if you're like, okay, Jasmine, which one do I create first? Just have me get it fast, get it dirty, get it done. Great. Well, I believe that you should be working smarter, not harder. That is how you end up in first place all the time. So your first guide is what we're going to recommend is a post grouping similar post that you have already created. Yes, I'm going to tell you to create a guide by simply aggregating posts on Instagram that you've already created. Now, I'm going to walk you through an example. What you're looking at right now is my Instagram account. When you go to my profile, this is what you'll see. You'll see the highlights. And then right below there, you'll see the options on the account. You'll see in the lower left side, it's highlighted as guides. Here, you'll see it a little bit up close. When you click on the guides tab, I have created guides that act as a way to aggregate my most popular post around frequently asked questions. People say, Jasmine, on my DMs, they'll say, Jasmine, how do I grow my business? Oh, well, I send them like on this guide, 5 ways to grow your business on Instagram. People, I often get questions whenever I post about my daughter and our adoption story. I found that I could not share my entire story with a stranger via DM. So I created a guide on our adoption journey. Instagram story tips most people don't know about. These are commonly asked questions. Now, here's the good thing. I have to come out and say, I did not create new content for this guide. All I was doing is I'm making it easier for my audience to see similar content grouped in one place. So you could do the exact same thing. You don't have to come up with anything new. You don't have to come up with original content for your first guide. How amazing. You've already done the work. Now what you're doing is aggregating posts around similar topics so to make it easier for future customers. Now, I don't want to give you more work. Right? Like we're here. As you have questions, like I pop in every single week and I do Q&A. Right now, I'm talking about a particular topic. Ask your questions about this topic. Ask your questions about business in general. The main focus is I go live not to give you more work, but to inspire you to use the work that you've already created and repurpose it in a way that makes sense for your followers. So if you are ready to take action and you're like, Jasmine, I like what I've seen so far, but I want to know how to do some of the other guides. I want to know how to strategically use it for my business. I created a free guide. It's a free download. You can go to jasminestar.com/guides and you can download this free resource if you want to dive deeper when it comes to using guides. I absolutely love it. I have seen how effective they are. Now, Social Curator has its own Instagram account at Social Curators, and we want to make sure that we have guides on that account too, because it's been pretty dang incredible. So listen, I share what I know, and I hope that these resources are helpful. Now we're going to dive into Q&A. Veronica Green asked, what size should the cover photo be in guides? Yours look like a perfect size. On my guide, my cover photo looks a little too big. Oh, so I would recommend, so when you're looking at your guides as they're displayed, now remember, there's no such thing as perfect and no one's going to judge you on it. But right now, the photos on the guiding size, and here's the thing, Instagram changes the layout. At the time of this recording, Instagram has announced that they will no longer have an IGTV tab. They're just going to have a video tab. So all videos less than 60 seconds, videos more than 60 seconds, and your IGTV, which used to have only like live videos, is now all 3 types of those videos are going to go into one video tab. So they're changing it. So do I think that this sizing, like a 6:9 size for guides for your cover photo, is going to be it for all time? I doubt it. But right now that 6:9 ratio seems to work best. Okay, let's dive into a few other questions. How should guide content on Facebook be different than on Instagram? Well, the guides that we have on each of those platforms are going to be aggregates of posts that you've already created. So if you find yourself doing a very specific type of post on Facebook, then you're going to be creating a guide around that. Now, another thing too, this is a good question. I do get frequently asked questions on Instagram and Facebook that are a little bit different. So the guides that I would be creating on Instagram, like honestly, I don't get a lot of Instagram questions on Facebook. I get a lot of Instagram questions on Instagram. So it makes sense for my guides on Instagram to be very like Instagram story tips, how to grow your business using the 5 ways to grow your business on Instagram. So I will listen to the frequently asked questions that I'm getting on each of those platforms and making sure that those guides reflect that platform. That was a really great question. Savannah, should we be putting a link in our Instagram bio for a free guide? With that link, should we have them enter their email address in order to download it? If yes, how do we do this? No, Savannah, guides are to be aggregates of posts and things that live on Instagram. Instagram created this feature not to get people to get off the platform, but to keep people on the platform. In fact, there was another question that had come up around blog posts. I will have very similar content on my blog. Like if you go to my blog, jasminestarblog.com, and you type in 5 ways to grow your business on Instagram, you will come up with its own dedicated post. But oftentimes people who are on Instagram, they don't want to go to my blog. They don't want it to go somewhere else. They want to stay on Instagram. Now it's my objective. So let's just walk through this right now. Do I make anybody download something from guides before they read the guide? No. Why? I haven't built enough trust with people on Instagram to do it. But watch one thing that we do. I'm going to walk you through. Actually, it's a little scary because I don't know what's going to pop up on my phone. But what you're looking at right now, this right here is my Instagram account. And what you see here is a guide that says 5 ways to grow your business using Instagram. So you'll click on that. And what you'll see is a brief outline of what this guide is about, kind of like a precursor, like what you're going to get, right? Because I have to convince you that reading this guide is going to be worth your time. And then what I've done is I have repurposed a few videos. I have repurposed a live. I have repurposed a post. Ooh, this is good. I repurposed a post with Social Curator because Social Curator has such great content that I wanted it to be a part of this guide. So it's on the Social Curator Instagram account, but I made it a part of my guide. Now, I also have this video, repurposing your content for Instagram guides, 5 ways to grow your business. Oh, look at that. I'm talking about the same content on Instagram as I'm talking about it on a different platform with a different offer. But you want to know what I encourage? If people want to go deeper with guides, jasminestar.com/guides. Well, what is this video? Oh, it's a video explaining why guides are important. And what do I ask people to go here? Download my free guide for Instagram guides. If you just were on Instagram and you're scrolling and I say Instagram guides are great, download my free guide, maybe somebody might find that interesting. Maybe it wouldn't be that effective. What guides do is they give people 5 or 6 posts and they're reading and they're like, wow, I actually like what this Jasmine is saying. I think it would be valuable. Now I'm ready to go and exchange my email address for something that I find truly valuable. So my goal always when it comes to creating content on social is I want to build so much trust that people are excited to go deeper with me. If I did not build trust and you're like, I don't like this content, great. I wasn't going to serve you and you weren't going to get what you wanted from me, like no biggie. But I want to always make sure, build trust before you ever ask somebody for their email address. Veronica Green, yes, this is so good. Repurposing content is everything. Well, I'm thankful that you're here. Thank you for the cosign. I'm literally, when people don't realize is that I have a daughter who has an earache and I am moving into a tiny little bedroom, like right about here. I have a plant and I'm adjusting my head against this plant because I'm trying to get this fiddle leaf to grow well, but I had to tie it with this little string and it looks so ghetto. But I'm like, oh, you cover it. Hey, now I look like I'm the forest. And so when people say like, thank you for showing up or thank you for repurposing content or whatever the case may be, I just want to like co-sign and say that it is better to do it scrappy. It's better to do it messy. It's better to do it in front of like a ghetto fiddle leaf than not do it at all. And Veronica, thank you for being here. I appreciate it. Elba Rodriguez, can you share guides in DMs? Yeah, Elba, let's walk you through how you would do that. So I'm going to go back. Let's go back. We're going to walk you through these exact same steps again. So what we're going to do is let's go into what is Social Curator. Now, for those of you who don't know, I'm CEO of Social Curator. This is a deep resources where I do group coaching and give marketing resources to small business owners. When somebody asks me, Jasmine, what is Social Curator? I can send them a DM and say it helps people build their brand with resources and then send a link. I could, or if they just want to stay on the platform, what I can do is I can click on this guide and then up in this right-hand corner, what you'll see is a dot. And you click on those 3 dots and then what will come up with down here, which you can't all that see that well, is copy link. You can copy that link, go back to your DM, drop that link in there, and that will send them to that guide where they can read those posts about things that you sell. This is for me, when people talk about selling on social media, that's how you do it. You do it not by a hardcore sales pitch. You do it by having a conversation. You do it by creating such like swag resources that you point people to where you want them to go. Right now, let's just be honest. What am I doing right now? I'm talking about my business, Social Curator, but I don't have to sell it. I have to teach what I know. I have to walk people through how I'm doing the thing I'm selling. I'm not selling it. If for some reason you're like, dang, I've been watching Jasmine now for 6 months and she continually shows up and she continually walks the walk and talks the talk, well, then maybe I'm interested in learning more about social curator. Then great. Then it's not a sales pitch. I don't have to hardcore cluck you in the right chin and be like, now it's time to buy. No. Offer, value. Okay. Can or should guides be repurposed into blog posts? You could test it. Y'all, I love blogs. I love blogs so much. I love blogs because I started my business with a blog. And when you share that content, search engine optimization, SEO, it's unrivaled. You can write 1,000 Instagram posts and they will never be discovered online. Like you can write 1,000 posts on Instagram about goat yoga, and you could be the authority of goat yoga instructors on Instagram. But that content, when somebody goes to Google and they type in the best goat yoga instructor, your account will never show up because what you create in that app only exists in that app. If you were to create 1,000 blog posts around goat yoga instruction and somebody types in goat yoga or goat yoga instruction, there is a really, really good chance that your post, your blog is going to rank up real high because the volume of the content you create. So do I think that you can get that virtually the same content that all those Instagram posts and you can put it into a blog post? Heck yes. Do the dang thing. Work smarter, baby. Do you create content specifically with guides in mind? No. You could. I mean, I love that idea. I think it's phenomenal. If you can think about a guide you want to create in the future that would be helpful for your followers, awesome, do it. I have realized that the guides that have done the best are in response to a lot of questions that people are often asking. So what you'll go through on my guides. Now, here's the thing. We don't have to stress out about it. Like I think I have 7 or 8 guides. I'm not like, I need to have a guide every week. No, it's just like, oh, I've been seeing this trend and I have these posts around it. Let me just make it a guide. Let me make it easy. Do I think that guides are a quick pill to take and get all the solutions to sales on social media? No. Do I think that it's part of a powerful equation? Heck yes. And that's why the team and I continue to show up. I also want to take a second here because some of the questions that are coming in, and like always, I just answer questions as they come in. One thing that I felt a lot of pressure, and I don't know if you feel the same way. I have felt a little bit pressure of going into Q4, right? The last 3 months of the year or the next 3 months of any year. And what happens is people are like, oh, it's the last 90 days to change your life, to get the things that you want. You have 90 days to hit all the goals. You have 3 minutes. And I love it. I love it. It makes me excited. But it also makes me feel sometimes a little bit overwhelmed. Like if I think, man, I got 3 months to get everything I need to get done. And the one thing that I've learned as a business owner is that it is quite powerful for me that when I take time to look at a big picture, it performs better. I feel better and I do better. Now, I also understand that as a business owner, I don't have as much time as I would like. I wish that I got paid just to think. I wish that I got paid to do like the high level, let's build this out. But there was a post on Instagram, John Henry. Since we're just going on the fly, let me just read the post so I actually properly give it credit. So this post was posted, just one day ago. That's what the post looks like. Years ago, I asked my mentor how he got so wealthy. He said, I don't work, I think. Then I asked how he got to the point where he didn't have to work. He said, by working my ass off. I can't tell you what that shifted for me because I did feel like a lot of pressure going into like, okay, we got to do this stuff. We got to do this stuff. And like, oh, how I long to think about high picture, big picture stuff, high level stuff. But right now I am the CEO of Social Curator, and I'm also an operator, which means I do whatever I need to get done, even if our team is not big enough to handle it. So in a moment of full disclosure, I think I could be a much better CEO if I was just the CEO. I really do. But right now, I am the CEO. I am the co-founder. I am head of product. I am the division director for retention and experience. I am lead content creator for the Jasmine Star brand, lead content creator for the Social Curator brand. I am lead educator on the inside of Social Curator. And I am a wife, I am a daughter, and I am a mother. And I have to tell you that there are not enough hours in the day to ever remotely feel like I can do the things that I want to do. So my objective is to, number one, fulfill on my obligations as owed to the team and do it on time. Our number one core value is your follow through. Like our number one core value is reliability. That means you walk in integrity. If I say I'm going to get you something, I'm going to get you something. That's just how our business has to work. And on the back of walking in integrity and being reliable, if I do not have all the other time that I want for all the other things I need to do, then my focus must be here. But yesterday, my husband and I watched church. And at church, the question that was asked is, do you have, or what was said was, if you choose to look at it this way, you have everything you need for the miracle you want. And so I stepped outside of it and I asked myself when it came to my business, because I have a vision for what I want to happen with Social Curator. I have a crystal clear vision, but I feel like we're so far from it. Now you're a business owner and you have a vision of what you want. I don't know what your vision is, but you got to have a vision. Like if you don't know what your vision is, for a lack of vision, your dreams will perish. So you need to know, how many events do you want? How much money do you want to make? How big your team do you want to be? Whatever the case may be. But when you have a vision, like I have a vision, I looked around and I thought to myself, I believe I have everything I need for the miracle I want. Am I patient enough to wait in it? That's what it was about. I believe that I have everything I need for the miracle I want to bring this fruition to pass. But am I going to be patient enough to wait for it? Now, this kind of, we started off this conversation with like, oh yeah, Instagram guides, work harder, we're smarter. And then what stirred up in me on the back of these amazing questions, because this Q&A is not possible without people like you, but these questions brought up for me to be like honest and for me to be open and for me to have this documented, because one day, I firmly believe I will look back at videos like this, where I showed up with my baby daughter right outside, not feeling so hot, opening up my laptop, going live, creating content, and walking in integrity, being reliable. If I say I'm going to show up, I'm going to show up. And I hope that you, as you build your business, show up for your followers, you show up for your customers, and you do what you have to do. You take the little that you have and you make the most of it and with it. Friends, every week I go live. It is an honor and it is a privilege. And I hope you guys are like, yeah, we are too blessed to be stressed. Okay. And when we feel overwhelmed, let's practice this thing that was told to me. That overwhelm is the abundance of what we had asked for. So I'm going to hold that to be my truth today. And I hope you do the same. Have a good one, friends. Thank you.
I hope you enjoyed that Ask Me Anything session as much as I did. If you love this episode, please subscribe to the Jasmine Star Show from wherever you're tuning in from today. This will guarantee that you never miss an episode, and hint, hint, we've got some really great guests coming up that I know you're going to love. So hit that subscribe button, and we'll talk to you soon.